Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to Iron Mind, the podcast that's going to blow your mind. I am Adrian, the host of this program, and today we will talk about something related to CrossFit. We're going to talk about the non professional athletes, the beginners athletes, and what is good for them, what is bad for them. Because believe it or not, CrossFit is an amazing methodology if you understand it. But what we do not understand, what we are not professional or beginners in CrossFit, is sometimes less is better. And that's what I want to talk about. We're going to talk around the mental health of the sport, the injuries, what is good, what is bad. We're going to try to develop a topic around CrossFit for non professional athletes. But before I keep on rolling, remember to like, subscribe, and share with your friend. If you feel that you enjoy listening to this podcast, subscribe, help me to have more followers. And I would bring some guests soon enough to make it even more interesting, because I believe again that when someone understands the topic and study the topic, for example, they can give me better answer than internet, and it would be clearer for you. It would be way more easy to understand. So today it's episode, I believe, number 18, and I apologize again. I couldn't release the episode earlier on because, first of all, quite busy week, but it's not the excuses. My excuses is probably a shit excuses. But I have people in the backyard of my house. I'm living in a unit, 6 unit. There are 6 units next to each other, and they were doing like all the cutting, like the trees and stuff like that, which it was very noisy. And I was hoping that my mic, was gonna stop the noise. So I record a podcast, listen to it, and it was a pain in the ass. It was really annoying because you could hear people mowing the grass, cutting the trees at the back in the background. So sorry I couldn't release the episode as soon as possible, but now I'm doing it. There is no one behind, there is no one outside, so we can enjoy this conversation. So let's talk about the good and then let's talk about the bad. So what I believe CrossFit do to beginners or non-professional athletes, it give them a routine that they can follow because it's less demanding than going to the global gym where you have to do your programming, where you have to repeat the same thing. The cool thing about CrossFit is when you come at the gym is always different. You would have a different strength part, you would have a different workout. It's quite often every week a different workout, different stimulus. And I think that's why people like CrossFit, because it's not as boring than going into a CrossFit gym. Into a global gym. CrossFit gym is most of the time a good programming. It's going to build your strength. It's going to build your fitness. It's going to build your agility, your toughness. And I believe CrossFit is an amazing sport in that way. And that way is great because it gives people a routine that they can follow. And like it's like coming to the gym for 1 hour only and then you are off. And that's one thing I do believe is an amazing thing is time frame. It's easy to come for 1 hour in your day and do something that you don't even have to think of because someone's going to coach you and someone's going to tell you what to do. So I think this part of CrossFit is an amazing thing. Another part of CrossFit is forcing people to have a good and healthy life outside the gym. Because I don't know if you are in the same case than me. I'm a little bit older now, but I remember when I started CrossFit, I was going on the weekend for a night and drinking and like doing a lot of stuff outside, but not a healthy life. And I always pay it when I come back to the gym. I always struggle so much. So step by step, I avoid going out. I mean, I'm still going out, but I'm not drinking as much than I was when I was younger because it was so hard to get back to my training without struggling. So I think because of the difficulty of the sport, the hardness of the sport, people need to understand that good, healthy life with your food, with your sleeping roster, with your recovery process, it's super important if you want to involve in the sport. And some people still forget about it. Some people still, I feel, in my gym, they're like, it's not as important than it looks. But believe it or not, a good night's sleep, a good food, and doesn't mean that you need to restrict yourself. You need to eat enough that you have enough calories in your body to perform on the day when you go to the gym and train, right? So I think, yeah, CrossFit is a good thing because it gives you as well some help to have a good, healthy life around your gym, around your lifestyle. I also think CrossFit is an amazing thing for community. For example, me coming into New Zealand in 2018, I was in a global gym to start because I couldn't find a gym that offer full time in CrossFit. And obviously, you cannot live a life with 6 hours work. You don't get paid enough, so it's really hard. But one thing that I like about CrossFit is you create a small family, you create a small community, and that's incredible. But it's also a bad thing. Like I think community can create a lot of drama, and that's why in the CrossFit world, you have a lot of drama going on around because community have drama. So but community is a very important one. You create friendship, especially when you're foreigners, with people that's going to last for a lifetime. And I'm very grateful to be part of a community that helped me have a better life in New Zealand, basically. That There is also a good thing about CrossFit. I feel that CrossFit help everyone have better understanding of their body. They have more awareness of space wise, like where they can stand, where they can, like if I ask someone in the street to do a burpees or whatnot, the way they will do it is so much different than someone who understands their body. So I believe CrossFit help people understand the mechanic and the way the body move, and they do less mistake. In life, like you tripped over, you can catch up fast because you have reaction. For a stupid example, if I don't know if you ever have that, when you tripped over a step, you react a little bit faster, so you save your fall. And if I take my dad as an example, I hope he's not listening to that, but my dad, as soon as there is some stairs somewhere, you can be sure 99% of the time he will trip over, but when he tripped, he trip bad. So, CrossFit would help him a lot to catch all those fall. But yeah, so that's all I think about the positiveness of like CrossFit for beginners and non-professional athletes is efficiency with time. You come, you do your workout and you leave, or you stay to chat with some friend, give you a good, healthy life around with your food, your sleep, your recovery. Community part is very important. If you are brand new into a country, for example, my example was that you make some friends, a lot of friends, good friends, because you are all in the same idea of life, right? So I think it's easier to make friends when you go to the global gym. You don't really know what those people are into it, So CrossFit, we are all at least connected to one thing, and I also believe CrossFit help people understand the mechanic of the body, which is very important because when you understand how your body move, how your body work, you can make your body a machine. Now there is a lot of negative thing about CrossFit when you're non-professional, beginners or whatnot. For me, one of the biggest and negative thing is CrossFit. You don't make money with it, and competition is getting way more expensive those days, and it's a challenge, right? When you do a 9 to 5, for example, and you get like minimum wage or a little bit more, is a budget to compete. It's a budget to go renting your Airbnb, taking a flight to somewhere, and then compete for 3 days for $500 or $600. It's a lot of money, and I understand it's a lot of money because those days, yeah, with the inflation, they have no choice. The renting of, I was talking to one of the guys who's doing NZ Champ, and he was telling me that renting the part in South Auckland, they were doing the comp over there, was around 50K for the weekend. 50K is a lot. It's a lot of money. And if you go for Touring Pro, from memory, from what I heard, to rent it for those few days of competition is a base of $1 million. So I understand that they try to find the money wherever they can. The athlete is probably not the greatest way to do it because athletes don't make money until you're professional. But even professional, if I take Bailey Martin, I don't know if Bailey Martin would listen to this podcast, but Bailey Martin did a YouTube video. He have a YouTube channel. Go follow this guy, by the way. I like watching his routine. It's actually quite interesting. But Bailey Martin I've done a video, was how much money he make in the 3 years where he went to the CrossFit game, and I think it was an average of 45,000 Australian dollars, which is terrible. If you think about it, it's not the greatest thing to do. Living on CrossFit with $45,000 for 3 years, fuck. I think it's pretty poor. Knowing how difficult it is the sport, I think it's pretty average. But yeah, so money-wise, I think when you're a non-professional or even professional struggle, but it's It's hard. It's really hard. When I was playing rugby, we don't care about the bus. We don't care about whatever. Everything is paid by the club. You just go there. You just have to buy your mouth guard, your shoes, and get ready for your game. That's all. CrossFit, you have to buy those knee sleeve. You have to buy those weightlifting shoes. You have to buy your CrossFit shoes. You have to buy some belt. You have to buy some grape. You have to buy whatever you need for you, but you have to buy a lot of things, right? And at the end of the day, it costs so much money. You have to buy a good skipping rope. Yeah, plenty of example. Even if those products like knee sleeve and everything last you forever, it's still budget. I remember when I started CrossFit in 2016, a little bit before 2015, the end of 2015, start of 2016, buying grape with $20. They were not as efficient that they are now. Frog grape, redback, Victory grape, all those grape are incredible. Pixel, they are amazing. But now a grape like Victory grape, frog grape, or redback, whatever, is a base of $100. $100 is a lot of money, and they used to last. I don't know, like at least a year. Now is like after 6 months you have to renew your thing. So every 6 months you put 100 and $120, which is understandable because the technology around the grape is way more. How can I say that? Is what they've done is incredible. When I don't know if you ever tried those brand new grip, when you jump on the rig is like glued to the bar, which is a good thing but a bad thing as well, on the fact that you can injure yourself if you don't know how to use grip. And that's one thing I noticed in the past couple of weeks is people actually don't really know how to use grips. So I think maybe doing a video explaining how to use grip would help people on my Instagram. So I would potentially do one in the future explaining how grip work. So yeah, financially wise, when you are a beginner's CrossFitter or whatever, it costs you a fortune. The membership is expensive. Even if you give them quality in coaching or whatever, it's still fucking expensive. If you think my gym, I think is $69 per week if you take the full membership, 59 if you take only 3 days a week. It's a budget, right? It's commitment towards that. And sometimes you take PT and to get a bit better, and it costs even more. So I think the financial part it's hard in CrossFit. It's really hard. For when I compete to Touring Pro, it costs a fortune. Lucky we have an amazing community at Carbon Method CrossFit who fundraise for us and help us a lot. So very grateful to be part of this community, guys. Thank you. I appreciate that. Another part for me, I think, is the mental health towards CrossFit. And the mental health is connected to all those social media, I believe so. It can be connected as well to injuries based, but social media it's a killer for any CrossFitter. I used to be one of them, always comparing myself. But one thing is, my journey is different than the guys I'm following on Instagram, and that's when you understand that you've grown up a little bit and you just focus on your own self instead of focusing on what others people do. I remember like from 2019 to 2021 or 2022. So 3 years, 4 years, I was injured every year. I always have something. I broke my foot, did a surgery, bone graft. A couple of weeks later, I've done a fracture on my foot, but luckily healed pretty fast. Then I broke my knee. Then I have to do a knee reconstruction, ACL reconstruction, meniscus and everything. Took me so long to get back to no pain when I squat. I still feel it sometimes, not every day, but I still feel my knee. Took me so long. And then after my knee, it went into my back. My back took me ages to figure it out, how to heal, how to do the process. And it's frustrating. It's mentally frustrating. You compare yourself. I used to compare myself to Romain Felonneau. Same, I don't know if he's going to listen to this podcast, but Romain Felonneau is a very amazing athlete, my size. And I was like, fuck, if this guy can clean 140 or 150, fuck, surely I can. But this guy didn't have any big injury, big surgery in the past 4 years. And I was trying to catch up with him, which means I was hurting myself even more, means that mentally I was dragging down, and I start hating CrossFit. So I think social media is a terrible thing for beginners CrossFitters because they compare themselves a lot. And I think mentally they struggle. They struggle with that. It's like, I'm not good enough. Look, this guy is way better than me. But one thing you need to know is in Instagram, you can do whatever you want. Drinking a little slip of coffee, sorry. One of my friends told me that one day she went to Australia and this girl prepared a tripod. She'd done the workout already and decided to do one round full send. And that's the only thing she posts while she died before doing the workout. So instead of showing her true reality of like, that's how I look when I'm working out, I'm struggling, she show after 10 minute rest how fast she can go, like, so you can make believe everyone on Instagram. For people who know me, when I snatch 1 rep max, depends the day. Some day I'm catching up straight away and I'm like, fuck, that was a good day. And sometimes it's going to take me 13, 15, 16 trial. I'm trialing, I'm trying. And then when I got it, I just post this, but quite often I post my fail, but I try to post more my success than my fail. But yeah, I think mental health is connected to comparing yourself with other people, but it's also a big problem with injury. I think none of those people are prepared to understand and accept an injury. They quite often, when they are young, I was one of those guys. I'm a little bit older, so I would say I'm wiser with injury. As soon as I feel something, a niggly pain, I'm like, I'm not going to push it. No point. Which when I was young, I was like, oh, it's okay. My shoulders hurt for the past month, but I'm going to keep doing ring muscle up really high volume, which is stupid. And when you hurt yourself, no one prepare you for the time you're going to spend doing rehab. And an injury, sadly, is you would do 2 step forward, 5 step back, 2 step forward, 5 step back. 1 week's going to be amazing, and you're like, I'm back to where I was. And then the following 3 week is terrible. So until you understand that CrossFit is not all your life when you're a beginner or non-professional, professional people have to wake up and train really hard because it's their fucking job. That's what they do. That's their 9 to 5. You have a job, you have a family, you have all of like outside thing that's gonna slow your CrossFit journey. But if you understand that you need to do the right thing in CrossFit instead of like stepping, like let's say when you walk some stairs, you don't do stair 1 to stair 10. You do stair 1, stair 2, stair 3, stair 4, etc. until you reach the stair number 10. And that's what people don't do in CrossFit. Is like they do the first ring muscle up and they expect they're gonna have ring muscle up every single day. No, it's not how it works. You would have some up and down. It's like, imagine, is what I try to explain to people who do gymnastic with me. Is like, imagine I am doing a 1 rep max every single day on my snatch. Do you reckon it would work? Do you reckon I would be better? And they look at me and it's like, no. So it's exactly the same in gymnastic, for example. You cannot get your ring muscle up once and then hoping in the next day having it, because it's a max effort for you to do one. Does that make sense? Or like people who, like they are not great and they try to PR their clean or they snatch by ripping off the floor and hope for the best. You cannot hope for the best. I always say that to my athletes. A weightlifting bar or a barbell have no feelings. If a barbell want to hurt you badly, it will. If a barbell want to put you on a wheelchair, it will. If a barbell want to do worse than that, it will. Barbell don't have feeling. Barbell, you need to dominate your barbell. You need to go to the barbell and be confident enough that you will dominate this barbell. And I think, yeah, all those like step, I need to be better, do more rep, more volume, create injury. And I think beginners or non-professional CrossFitters don't know how to deal with injuries. They beat themselves up even more. Injuries take time. People heal differently. It took me almost 2.5 years to be able to do a full squat without feeling pain on my knee. Some people, after 9 months, they're back to normal. They are back to a normal squat life. If I take Sarah Sigmundsdottir, we've got a knee surgery on the same time than me. She's still struggling with her knee. And it's like, it was like 5 years ago. She's still struggling with the knee. Everyone is different. Everyone, you need to accept that is your own journey. No one can, you cannot rush it. If I take Bailey, she's my team partner. She's has a stress fracture on her back, disc injuries. She wasn't supposed to do the Open. Managed to come back pretty strong, did the Open, did the quarterfinal. But her back's flaring up, and now she started having niggly pain, and she's like, I'm so shit, I'm not catching up to the level. She's not enjoying it anymore. So I went very directly to her. I was like, hey, let me give you an advice. If you don't like CrossFit, stop. Do something else. Because CrossFit is a demanding sport for your brain, and demanding sport for your body. If you are not ready to enjoy the journey, you need to stop. So I think mental health is a big thing in CrossFit because you compare yourself, you have injuries, and you give up a little bit. You're like, well, I'm not good enough. You don't have to be the greatest guy of your gym. Just do it for yourself. Enjoy the journey. Have fun. You miss a PR, it's all good. Is it the end of the world? You go in the street, you say to someone, I miss my PR. They would say, what the fuck is a PR? Don't give a shit. Do your own journey. So I think it's what I say. CrossFit financially wise is quite expensive. And I do believe that mental wise is very draining and very tiring, very hard. But when you understand, so that's my advice as an old CrossFitter, when you understand that you need to enjoy the journey, have fun when you go to the gym, you would progress way more. I've been struggling with my injuries, as I say to you, never PR in so long. And the past few months, I PR my clean, I PR my snatch quite often because I'm just enjoying what I'm doing. I'm going there. Of course, I have day. I'm not motivated, but remember, motivation comes and go. You need to just go, do what you can on the day and enjoy the process. Don't go to perform. You just go to have a good time. If you perform, amazing. If you don't, amazing as well. You fucking come, you get off your couch or your bed to do something physically and intense. So well done, guys. Like, that's one thing I want people to understand is as soon as you lose passion or love or fun for your sport, just shift, change, do something else until the love come back. And when the love come back, come and enjoy the process. So I think financially wise and mental wise is a hard one. It's a hard one for non-professional. And the third one, I think, what is a big problem for beginners, CrossFitters, or non-professional is they think about doing more is better. Because on social media, again, when you watch CrossFit Game Athlete, they post what they want. They post workout and stuff like that. So you think I need to work out 6 days a week, really intensely. I need to do heavy every single day. That's not what they do. They cycle the year. Let's say the game is their main focus. So it's one competition in the year, right? They will try to do a cycle, let's say 8 month per year game, build up a little bit of accessories, strengthening shoulders, knees, hips, make your body healthy. And then 6 months per year they open, they start doing a little bit of like cycle of strengthening. So just squat, probably one conditioning or two conditioning a week maximum, but a lot of like volume on heavy lift and stuff like that. And then 2 months per year they open, they start doing more conditioning and probably 5-6 conditionings a week or even more, but not a lot of strength. And that's what people don't see is they think they have to do strength, conditioning. I don't have another example. A lot of stuff to get better. That's not how it works. Your body, it's a machine, but your body have a limit. So if you don't manage your fatigue, if you don't manage your nervous system, if you don't manage your body, you will never progress. Never fucking progress. I promise you that. So less sometimes is better. Get a good coach that understand that, and you would fucking excel in CrossFit. And if you are under 30 years old, if you're 25 or even 28, you have time. You have fucking time. Yes, there are some people who do it at 24, different breed. And you don't know what they do as well. Maybe they are cheating a little bit. You don't know. Like you know, like drugs is a big thing in CrossFit, I believe so. And not just performance drugs, but recovery drugs. And if you recover better, you're a better athlete. That's it. So that's what my thought about CrossFit. The positive thing is creating a routine for you, a healthy life, and you have a community to relate on. The negative thing is quite expensive, mentally draining, and is also too much is dangerous for you. But until you get that, until you understand that, you won't be a good CrossFitter. When you understand that, you could be amazing at CrossFit. So I hope you like this episode, guys. I think it was an interesting one for me because, as I say to you, I used to be one of these athletes who thought more is better. I would be a fucking amazing athlete, but it's not true. It's bullshit. Guys, that was, I believe so, episode number 18 about CrossFit, the good and the bad. I hope you like it. If you do, little thumbs up. Comment on the video if you have any question about that. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share with your friend. And remember, I always close the podcast with build your life, grow your life, because I think totally fucked up this sentence, is build your mind, grow your life. My bad, I say build your life, grow your mind, which is the opposite. Build your mind, grow your life. I feel if you can control that, if you can control your head, you'll be good in life. If you can control your emotion, if you can control everything, you'll be the master of your life. Ladies and gentlemen, this was Iron Man.